Man, next thing you know, he's gonna say, "All I see is red."
Thought he could choose, and that's why Dwayne had to die.
Dwayne.
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for today. This one's going to be doing another video for Lost. This is my 5th review for this first season. This one is called White Rabbit. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for the Lost series. This one is episode 5, titled White Rabbit. So, damn, this show is good, man. Seriously, this show is awesome. This was another fantastic episode of Lost once again. Really enjoyed this episode. This episode focused primarily on Jack, which is I'd say our main character for this series, and this episode represented that very well. You know, we've kind of had, which I really enjoy the format of this first season, which is that every episode, a character kind of gets a focus. I thought the pilot was kind of Jack's episode, but that is definitely not the case. He still gets an episode regardless, and it's actually one of my more favorite episodes of the series so far. I'd probably place this at number 2, next to episode 4. This was great. Basically, we get the story in this episode of Jack when he was younger. He kind of was like getting bullied in school and stuff like that. And you find out that his dad kind of a piece of shit. You know, he basically viewed him as a nothing. He viewed him as a worthless nothing that'll just take whatever is kind of given to him, you know. And he was a drunk, too. We clearly get that idea. And when we find out in this one that in the current day, but I think it was a little bit before the plane crash, right? We find out from his mother that his dad left, basically, right? So then we're led to see that Jack has to make the decision to go and try to get his father back, but he finds him dead, which is pretty insane. They do the autopsy, they find his dead body there, and Jack basically has to bury him, right? So we find out that his dad was on the plane when they crashed. His dead body was on there. They were delivering him obviously to, elsewhere. And Jack this entire season has been looking at his, dad through all these visions on the beach, and I've been wondering, like, what the hell is going on? We see his coffin in this one, and we see, that his body is not there, and Jack basically kind of has been hallucinating, and he's kind of going through this state where he's running through the woods, he's trying to find him, stuff like that, and it's a really insane story, and he kind of lets that piece rest at the end of the episode after finding what he finds, but I thought it was really, really intense, right? And I liked it too because this episode has a very interesting plot where they're low on water. They're trying to get water. You've got this guy here that, washes ashore, right? And you've got Jack that saves his life. He goes out there, he, swims, he brings him back. But there's this one woman that was crying for help that Jack couldn't save. And that's kind of on his conscience as well, too, And the guy that he rescued kind of blames him. He's like, well, you should have gone back for her. And then Jack's like, well, no, like, you should have gone back for her, not me. Like, you should have saved her, And it creates this conflict within the group, And on top of that, they're low on water. So now you've got, Terry O'Quinn's character, right? You get his, kind of mission in this one, where he basically John Locke decides to go out there and find some water. And conveniently, while Jack is out there, he almost falls off this, like, huge cliff. And you get John Locke that, of course, pulls him up and stuff like that. And goated from John Locke. Love John Locke. But anyway, he basically breaks it down for Jack. He says, look, you're a doctor. Tell me, what do you think these hallucinations are? And he's like, yeah, I would say if I was the one telling the patient this, that they're hallucinations and I'm, dehydrated and I'm not sleeping, and stuff like that. So he's seeing things. It's visions, And I like the way that John kind of put it to him where he's like, that's what it is, But what if they weren't hallucinations? What if it was real? What would you say then, And then it interweaves with the flashbacks. I really love the dialogue in this show. It's really, really tight. And we, of course, see in this one that once the group starts to really start arguing, they really get on the edge or whatever, Jack comes back and he, that rhymed. He comes back and lays down the law. Look, we have to assume that we're not getting rescued. It's been 6 days. And he makes that speech and everybody. We have to assume that we're not getting saved. So what are we going to do now? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a really interesting way that he kind of put it, because we're not going to survive if we're all in it for ourselves. We're going to die alone, right? Unless we stick together, then we won't, And it's kind of teased throughout this episode, like, is Jack the right person to lead our group? And he keeps saying that he's not a leader. Well, clearly by that speech at the end, he represents that he is that leader that they need to survive on this island for as long as they need to. And though he's dealing with problems of his own, which, he tells Kate in this one, like, look, like, my father died, like, and she's like, okay, there it is, but it's like, they're not going to survive if they're in it for themselves, and that's what I find very interesting, and they're going to have to go forward assuming that nobody is coming to rescue them, which I have a feeling is how this show is going to play out, so it's going to be interesting to see where this all goes, but I love this episode. This is another 10 out of 10. 5 perfection episodes in a row. This show's on a roll, man, I tell you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about episode 5. What did you think of Jack's backstory? And let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Post comments. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click to subscribe and tune up to any other videos for Lost. Be sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.